That was so beautiful, Josie. Anyway, let's start this interview. I have the pleasure of interviewing none other than Josie Canion, and on behalf of the FANHS National Museum, I want to welcome all the listeners out there to Josie's home where we are right now. And we're going to go into just a nice informal discussion of how Josie entered into the world of music and being one of the very few Pinais out there that has made us proud all these years, you know, coming from a family of musicians. First of all, my name is Luna Jamero.
And she's my cousin.
And this is my cousin, Josie Canion.
All right.
And originally born and raised here in Stockton, California. She spent a lot of her adult years in the Bay Area, being married, raising her kids. You know, I think some people don't know, but in case they don't know, she had 5 daughters. They were the very popular sisters called the Third Wave back in the late 60s and the 1970s. And their harmony was just like none other, you know, and a lot of that came from Mama Joe right here. You know,
I think my mom has really came from her.
Well, and I remember Josie. Back in 1969, this one had me help get the girls ready for that concert, remember, at the Oakland Coliseum?
That's right.
The Oakland Coliseum. And so I was one that helped Josie and her 5 girls get dressed and ready with their long, thick hair and their she had them in the Nehru jacket outfits and those white boots. You remember those white boots?
Wait, if they're on
that's not the outfits that they had on there.
No.
Yeah. They were backed up by then on stage with George Duke, right? The infamous George Duke trio with Al Checky, right? Al Checky's on the drum. I'll never forget him. He was so handsome. And John Hurd on bass, right? And they were the warm-up act for. They had some big guys on that stage that night because it was. I think it was Thelonious Monk was on that.
You mean the Monterey Jazz Festival?
No, not the Monterey. It was the Oakland Coliseum.
Okay. Oh yeah.
Yeah, 1969.
It was. Yes, it was.
Yes, Cannonball Adderley.
Dionne Warwick.
And Dionne Warwick. Thelonious Monk.
Yeah.
Gary Burton.
Yeah.
Remember? Mm-hmm. My God, I still remember. And I don't know why I remember because that whole Coliseum
I was like thinking of the Monterey Jazz.
I know. No. Remember, Josie? God, that was so fun. Anyway, but no, Josie and I go way back.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, our families knew each other for years and years. And when I was asked by Dorothy Cordova some time ago, she called me and she said, Luna, we need to do an interview on Josie because you know, Filipino Americans in jazz, if we have to have that documented because, you know, at least on tape, we haven't really done a very good job of doing that, you know. And so last year I was supposed to do this, but because of COVID, you know, we had to delay it. And but time being as it is, right? And tomorrow is never promised. We finally got through the worst of the COVID because we're now fully vaccinated. So we can sit in the same room and
sing some songs.
Have a conversation, and just generally have fun, we hope, you know. But I'm going to ask Josie just very briefly, and you can be brief about it if you want. You don't have to be. But how important was music during your early years growing up in Stockton, and how did your family influence you?
You know, my let's put it this way. Mama was very, I guess, she was the one. She had these, I call it 100-pound ears. She was just bombing them. When it came to playing, she played guitar, really. And then, of course, she got onto
she got on a piano
she had
too?
such a big ear that she she played piano too.
That's
and
amazing.
She was the one actually that got me started on there. And she says, you know, you have to do like dee da, we want canter. And she says, well, you know the difference between a major and a minor, you know the sound.
But she played by ear, or was she
played by ear?
So she didn't know how to read music.
Yeah, no,
Wow.
she didn't. But she taught herself.
Yeah.
She went and got one of those.
That's
things
amazing.
To put on the piano. Yeah.
I didn't know that all these years.
She beat me. She did that. I didn't even do that.
Yeah.
You know, you ask me to read a note, I have to go, every good boy does fine. And that's terrible, you know. But what can I do, right?
Yeah.
So Mama always said, well, you have ears, use them. You know, that's what you have. God gave you, you know. So, well, I started, we always had music at home.
Well, all your brothers.
My brothers, yeah. My brother Jimmy played horn, sax, and my brother Joe played drums, and he dabbled on the piano a little bit.
Yeah, I heard.
But I always used to tell him that you're doing the wrong thing.
You got the wrong chord. I remember that.
And of course, my brother Rudy, and so of course he was the piano player, but we always sang. So so we always did that. As far as I can remember, my uncles had me dancing and singing in the camps. Oh yeah, we used to do that.
Because you know, Josie,
and I used to make a lot of.
You used to sing more than you played the piano because you didn't get into that until you were in Daly City, right?
Yes,
you started really getting in.
I was a grandmother already.
Yeah, exactly.
And Moj was born already, and she was like 2 years old already, and then I started. Well, it was Flip that said that. Not only Flip, Noel Jukes said the same thing, said the same thing to me, that I should play an instrument because, you know, I need to do that. But Flip would always say, well, I can't be here for you all the time. And Rudy can't be here for you. And so I thought about it, and I said, yeah, I'm going to have to do something. So the instrument that I picked was piano, because I can't do guitar because I had whiplash and strap bothers me around the neck.
But I remember you practicing all these chords.
Oh yeah, I always knew
forever.
I always could hear them.
Yeah, you could hear all the.
Yeah.
Well, see,
I just didn't know what they were until it just clicked into my head.
But the magic about knowing chords is that you have to have an ear in order to know what to do with them. And see, like, you know, me and Pula, my sister, we were trained we took piano lessons. So we were in the box piano players. We could not do any of the chords. We tried, but I could name a chord. My problem is, okay, so what? What do I do with it? I don't know what to do with it. And that's the difference between a real musician and somebody that is me. I'm just a trained piano player, but I can't improvise like you can. And I always envy you for doing that, Josie. Really. I mean, you were like, what were you, in your 50s when you actually got serious about piano?
Piano?
Yeah.
No, I was past 50 already, I think.
Oh my God, Josie. I didn't think you were that. I thought you were younger.
No.
So, just goes to show you.
Moji was a grandma already.
I remember that.
Georgie had her last. Moji was only, which is Georgie had. My oldest daughter had 4 girls.
That's when you were living on Avalon in Daly City.
And
that's
she
right.
was the youngest, and she was, I think, 2 or 3 where I started.
Oh my God, Josie.
2. I think she was 2.5, like that. Yeah.
But before then, just for historical sake. Talk a little bit about your singing career in the Bay Area too, because you were singing a lot.
I sang first before. I sang a lot with even in school when I went to school, sang in high school and so forth, and but not as a soloist. we just kind of stumbled into that because of I raised my kids. I got married. That's what you did, and then I had kids and to raise them. So I just never thought of even going into that profession.
But didn't you first have it was a quartet? Because I remember back in the 50s with my brother-in-law Ham, your ex-husband Bill,
and my brother Rudy.
and your brother Rudy.
Yeah,
there was the four of them, and I'll never forget. There was a station, a TV station from Stockton that televised you guys. And I happened to turn the TV on, and I see these Filipinos in this Pinay, and they're singing. And I was like, oh my God, they're Filipinos. I think I know who they are. And sure enough, it turned out to be Josie. And at that time, I didn't know Ham, but my brother-in-law Hamilton Barilla, you know. And so, you know, that was when I just fell in love with that four-part harmony. What was the name of that group, Josie?
We were called the Preludes.
The Preludes. Oh my God, that was Stockton's first quartet of Filipino Americans. I think that maybe nobody knows about.
Yeah,
but I remember the Preludes.
And then after that, I sang with a couple of other guys too, but a different group. We were called the Preludes. But it was just 3 guys and myself again, and then that didn't last too long. But
well, then again, you were a mother of 5 daughters by that time, so you know.
Yeah, I just to be a soloist, I was just. It was Mike Montano was at the house, and because he lived kitty corner from me, so he would come over and he'd play the piano, okay, and then he was playing some songs and I was folding diapers. and he would play the song and I was folding diapers. So I just started singing the songs that he was playing, and then he would go to another song. Well, I sang that too. I was busy playing
folding diapers.
and then about the 3rd song he goes and say, "Get dressed." What? Stop what you're doing. Get dressed. What? I'm taking you to the gig tonight. And he was playing with a jazz group called Blue Notes, I think it was called. And it was in the club in Stockton.
Here in Stockton?
Yeah, in the club in Stockton. So I thought he was crazy, but he brought me there, and this is at the, now this is not, he just told me to get up there, okay, introduced me to the band leader of his band. I think his name was Don, I'm not sure, but I can't forget now, it's been so long. But anyway, he, and then came up with the tune, so I just turned around and I sang it. Then he said, "You got the gig." So that's how I got started.
What was the song? Do you remember?
I don't even remember. Yeah.
But you know,
I mean, it was right on.
Yeah.
There was no there was a crowd. I mean, there was people already in there. They were at the gig, and so I just went. There was no audition.
You know,
just
since you mentioned Mike Montano as an aside, you know, he went on, a Stockton boy, to move on to Las Vegas, where he, you know, he. God, I think he had that gig there in Las Vegas for several years, and that was I think after he had traveled with, what was that comedian he traveled with? He was his son,
Jackie Leonard.
Jackie Leonard. Jackie Leonard, that's right.
Yeah.
And I remember he was on the Tonight Show, and so you know that was another Filipino American musician that a lot of folks may not even know about. But
he still works.
but he helped start you off. I didn't know that.
Well, that was I always did sing, but not professionally.
But officially to get you on stage on a gig, right?
That was my. And it wasn't really an audition. I just got up there and.
So what did that feel like, Josie? The first time you sang?
Song, right? Okay.
To sing in front of a bunch of strangers. What did that feel like?
You know, I thought it was kind of weird, but that's all right. She's just.
So did you get paid? Did he pay you?
Oh yes, he did. And after that, I got paid every time. So you get spoiled by that. So you.
Yeah.
And I did a lot of singing before I even played. I didn't play at that time. I used to fool around and do like everybody else, do the chopsticks and everything like that. That's the extent of my piano playing. Huh?
Sing something now.
Oh, see, you know what? I would love to, but my voice just don't come up. And we just had a big meal.
Lunch.
I know, we had a great lunch.
It's supposed to be lunch.
We should have some water before you sing, though.
I
but
think
that
so.
can be. We'll take a break and then we can do that later. But
Right.
I wanted to still ask you, since you were talking about some of your singing experience in Stockton, what was that like when in San Francisco during those days? Because when did you move to San Francisco? Was it when you married Ray? What year? What year was that?
I was
or were you already
way
there?
Before that too.
Yeah.
But with Bill, when I was married to Bill, I was there. But although we did come back, and I didn't do any singing when I was actually not till I got home, and then we formed that group because my brother and I, we always used to get together with Uncle Ham and like that. So we would do harmony and things like that. So but as a single, I when I did start singing again is when this time I was married to Ray, and I did a lot of gigs over there.
But you had a lot of gigs in Chinatown too, right? What was the
not so much.
Not so
yes, well, like with
at the Fairmont, at the Fairmont,
the Fairmont Hotel.
Right.
I was there with a lot of different other groups. I was always hired.
Yeah. Wasn't that the one where you had to ride? You actually were on that little boat in.
It's a catamaran.
Yeah,
actually.
the catamaran that.
You ever been there?
They actually played on the catamaran as it was going around. If you've ever been in.
Well, it doesn't go around.
It doesn't really go around.
It has a pier.
Right.
Get up,
stationary.
And of course, it rains and it thunders.
Yeah.
And that's more or less telling you it's time to get on board.
But that was at the Fairmont. I always thought that was just so cool that you guys were doing that.
It was really, it was fun.
How long were you there at the Fairmont?
Well, no, I had, like I said, I sang with how many different groups. Every time when they had a new band in there, they would call me, and I'd end up singing again with the different bands. So, but I had it was a good experience for me because I got to sing with a lot of good artists that was there. I mean, pianists and bass players as well, and they were jazz players, but those days you have to have a gig,
But most of the time, you were never like a trained vocalist. You didn't have formal vocal training.
Never had
it was mostly all hands on. Get on the stage, start singing.
Yeah,
and of course, the experience you got from all those musicians. That's amazing.
Yeah.
Look at all the money that people spend on getting vocal training.
People often ask me, don't you get nervous? When I had to do Yoshi's and somebody had asked me, don't you get nervous? And I said, no, I fought against that. The first experience I had was when I was going to school and I had to sing in this big, huge auditorium, which was in UOP. And everybody, all my friends that when I went to school with, they were there, and I had to do a discant, and they knew I was scared because my voice was going, so they could tell that it. And then I said to myself, that's not going to happen again. I'm not going to let that happen. So
I've never ever
since that I
never heard you ever be nervous.
I just said, that's it. I'm not going to get scared. And so when I get on stage, I just get on stage and have fun. That's it. That's me.
Yeah. Well, it was always like a family party with you singing and Rudy playing. And even when you guys were on stage, it was still like a family party because you guys made it that way. You know, it was never like, you know, stage. You know, it was always, you know, we're up here, we're performing, we just want you guys to have fun, and that's the way it was.
It was different with my brothers, and like my brother and everything. When there was 4 of us when we sang on stage, that was different because you have somebody with you. But when you have to do you're the headliner, so you have to do the whole stage thing. It's a totally different thing. It's you know, I just learned that you just got to be yourself and enjoy yourself. You know, this is what you get. This is me.
Right. But I mean, you were backed up by so many musicians too. You know, it's like, you know, I know you sang, or Flip backed you up, Mike Montana, you know, Flip Nunez,
George Maribez.
Yes, that's right.
I also worked with Smith Dobson.
Smitty.
Yes.
You know, Lourdes, do you remember Smitty Dobson? He was the one that, he was supposed to perform when I was working at the Merced Arts Center. And was it a week before he was supposed to show up? He was killed. It was just. Do you remember that, right, Lourdes?
Smith, I knew.
Yeah, Smitty was amazing.
Smitty came from Stockton here, and I know his mother.
And he was a white boy, but he didn't act like one.
Well, his mother is actually Mexican.
Yeah,
she is. Norma, she's
that's right. I remember her.
Beautiful singer too. She has a beautiful voice, and. His father also was a musician, but I think his mother was the one really. Yeah. She had that.
Yeah, I've heard her
soul
sing.
In her. Yeah. And Smith got that from. But Smith I knew since she was 16. You know.
Yeah.
Yeah. So.
He was. That was a loss. That really was such a loss.
Well, everything is a loss, especially when you get all the musicians that. They're gone now. Like I said, Flip is gone. Flip Nunez. Flip was like a brother to me. Family.
He was always like family.
Then George Maribez, another Filipino, fantastic player as well. Played with a lot of people. You know, a lot of named people.
You know, and I always wanted to ask you, Josie, did you feel like? Because you were probably one of the only Pinays that were singing at that time. Yeah. And did they even recognize that you were Filipina, or did they recognize you as being anything else, or how did that affect you when you were? How did that affect you as in your singing?
Well, you know what, the experience that I had was like. Well, this was like in the 60s then, I guess. And when you sang in the Chinatown, they wanted you to change your name.
That's right. I remember they wanted you to be Chinese.
I was supposed to sing in this big review, which I'm the singer, and I didn't have to dance or anything. They're going to just do the whole thing around me. And everything was fine until it came down to my name. And my friend was with me. His name was Larry Ng, believe it or not. And he turned around and he said to the guy, "What's wrong with her name?"
Yeah.
You know? And so I ended up not working because we both walked out.
Because they insisted that you change, or you
my last name. So I can keep my first name, but my last name has to be changed.
What did they want it changed to?
Well, it has to be Chinese.
It could have been anything. Josie Lee.
Wang or Chan or whatever, you know.
But that was common.
Not that there isn't, you know what, but that's what it was in those days, you know. Prima knows that.
Right.
You know. And Anna knows it as well. All those people that worked there, that Arlene and all of them, they all had to change their name, their last name, you know. And I just couldn't go, you know. It's not that. I don't have anything. I have grandchildren that are half Chinese, you know. I love them, but, you know, it's just, at that time, I just felt that I have to do with my name.
Yeah. Well, that's being authentic.
Yeah,
That was just being true to yourself, you know. I mean, and
So I didn't get the part.
Yeah, you didn't get the part. You didn't get the gig, but
I
so
didn't
what?
get the gig.
You know,
That's okay.
But you did. You were singing in Chinatown. I remember this. What was the name of that club? It was an alley.
Oh,
It was the rickshaw.
Was it the Rickshaw?
no, I didn't sing there. I
Was it Dragon Lady?
There was Mr. Lucky's and
no, there was.
It was an alley.
There were so many that I can't remember now.
It was not
I
a.
didn't sing too much. It was mostly I did a lot of hotel work, but a lot of casuals
Yeah.
and you know, as far as steady, no. I worked at the Quiet Storm, but that's not in Chinatown. That's in Ghirardelli.
I love the
That
Quiet
was
Storm.
fun.
That was a nice club.
I sang there.
And then they moved. Didn't they move later on to out there by the Fisherman's Wharf? Quiet Storm.
Well, that's where they were.
Yeah, they were.
And I worked in Pier 39.
That's
There was
right.
Another one
Right.
that I worked in.
Following
The Pier.
Sea.
Yeah, all, you know, the Following Sea. That's right. And I worked in a lot of other places, but I just didn't. Most of the times it was always casual because they pay more.
Yeah.
yeah.
I always remember.
But it was fun, you know. But the Quiet Storm was the one where I had to more or less start playing on my own.
That's right, Josie.
Yes,
I
and
think I remember.
I used to cringe.
I remember
when
the
Flip
first
was gonna
time
be
you.
there.
Yeah,
He'd be waiting outside the door. He wouldn't let me know that he's out there because if he came in, I would be. I get all frustrated.
I remember that. I think I was there one of the first times we did a gig and played the piano, and I remember Rudy saying something. Wrong chord. It's like
because you get intimidated.
Yeah,
you know. Come
yeah.
on,
well, these guys been playing forever.
But now it doesn't bother me no more, you know, but.
But it's amazing, Josie, that you can just sit down. My granddaughter Natalie she'll never forget that. She had the privilege of sitting down with this one, and she was just like in awe. She says, "Grandma, she just can sit down and play anything and play any chord." I said, "Yeah, because she's got the ear for it. She knows. I can't do that. I could sit at the piano all day and it wouldn't come to me." I could look at the chord, I could know I'm playing a chord, and nothing magical happens. So, you know, I always give credit to her for being that. I mean, if we didn't have musicians,
but we're
that did
always
that.
the deadly duo.
Yeah, we were.
That whenever there's a family party or function or something like that,
yeah, Josie,
I get her up there to sing it.
She drags me up. I know.
And what's our favorite tune? It's The Nearness of
The
You.
Nearness of You. Oh my God. You know, I was listening to Pandora on the radio one day, and I think maybe it was Ella Fitzgerald. I think she was singing The Nearness of You, or maybe it was Sarah Vaughan. I used to love Sarah Vaughan. Oh my God. And I thought, and I always think of you when but you know what? The one time I sang that song, no, it wasn't that. It was I Wish You Love with your brother Rudy at, oh my goodness, a place in Lodi, Wine and Roses. Wine and Roses. And I think I brought, was it you, Lourdes, or was it?
I went with you one time.
But did I sing?
No.
I didn't sing that time.
No.
I think it was another time I brought Alma
You didn't
Alcala.
go there when I was playing there.
Yeah. Yes, you did. Oh no, Rudy was playing there.
Rudy was playing.
Yeah.
And but your daughter sang
Yeah.
that night.
That's right.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
that was a good group.
Yeah, that was
that was my $2.
Right.
Yeah. That was Stevie
Yeah, the
and
$2.
Georgie and
Yeah,
Stevie.
but see, again, that's what I mean. It was like a family affair all the time, and so Rudy got me to sing "I Wish You Love," right? Of course, there was hardly anybody there. It was like most of the diners had left, and so it was just a few people, and you know. So I sang "I Wish You Love," and I never sang it as well as I did because I think I was drunk then. I don't know, but even Rudy said, you know, Rudy always would do that thing with his tongue and
With his eyes.
He'd crack me up. He'd say, "Hey, Mama, you really sang that one. You know how Rudy was. He just cracked me up. But you know, like I said, you know, we come back always to the fact that no matter how professional you'd been in your career or whatever, whenever we see you, it's always like it's a homecoming. You know, it's always like a homecoming. You know, because wherever you've been, whatever stage you've been on, there's always somebody out there. There's always family or somebody you haven't seen, or some kind of reunion that you have with people you haven't seen for a long time. And that's the kind of music that I love about you guys, you know, because it makes us come back alive. It makes us, you know, I remember seeing all those backyard parties we used to have at my sister Paula and Ham's house. Remember all those, Josie? Oh my God. If we would have had a camera back then, you know.
Oh, yeah.
Oh.
Or tape, anything.
Her brother Jimmy played this.
And she still has this. You have that.
You know, David has that tape.
David, I want a copy.
I do too, because Jimmy, that was one of the last times that her brother Jimmy, he played that sax like that was going to be the last time he ever, and it turned out it kind of was, because he passed away later on that year. But Jimmy played the sax, and I remember singing, Josie was singing, Rudy was there. I don't know how many musicians were there.
We always had a Christmas and everything like that. We were always
Well, it was like a spontaneous jam session every time. It would just start with a few people, and all of a sudden you get a room full of people out there. So, you know. Well, Josie, you want to just take a break and play something for now?
Oh, what do you want to hear?
We don't care. We just want to hear some playing. We want to showcase your chords now.
What do you want to hear? A song that I wrote.
What's the name of it? You wrote this? This is original?
Yeah, it's original, but I wrote I did the music, but Robert Ragsack, he at one time, I gotta explain this. One time we were brother-in-law and sister-in-law.
Yeah, I remember that.
So I'm his favorite sister-in-law. You hear that, Robert? But anyway, he wrote the lyrics to it. I mean, he did poetry, and I stumbled into it, and I said, "You wrote this? Let me have that." So I put music to it, and this is what it is. It's a fun song, so there you go. Love ain't no fun. It's a rush from the sun. Starts as a tease, then becomes a disease. Seeps your heart and chops it apart. So run, don't walk
Okay.
Your eyes get blinded. You just want action. You feel too much and ignore compassion. If you're in love, look at the whole damn story. Pay attention, or you'll be sorry. Love ain't no fun. It'll be the one to tear your soul and leave a big hole. And with that, boy, you're even more paranoid. What's the bottom line? What's the bottom line? What's the bottom line? Where do I sign? And that's a song that's done
Yeah. Woo! I like that one, Josie.
Very nice.
You know that the album you did a few years back. This one wasn't on there. You just original
No, this one's not even.
This one you
recorded yet,
just
yeah.
oh okay. I love
have
that
it.
one.
I have it copyrighted, but not.
What was the name of the album that you did back then?
That was my friends. I guess that's what it was. I even forgot the name of.
I know. I have it. I have it in my car right now.
No, you know what? That I really would like to do it another one. Do it all over again because I wasn't really prepared for that. I was moving at the same time and trying to do, which is the no-no. You don't move and
Have that.
and do recording. That's a no-no.
Yeah. But there was some
I
good
should've
tunes
done
on that album, though, Josie. There really was.
There was another tune that I wrote.
I think that was just after Ray passed away. I think was
Yeah, it was after.
It was after, so it wasn't an easy one to do.
No.
Aside from moving too, you know. So yeah, I remember that. Gosh, I can't remember the name of that album now. I could see your picture on it though. But you know, I think that there's just a lot. We could go on and on with this interview. We really could, but. What I would like to do is just take a break and then decide what we want to do. I think we've been on now for at least a good half hour. What do you think?
I think longer than that.
Or maybe a bit longer?
Or maybe, yeah.
Yeah, but
you know, about 1:30.
Yeah,
After 2 now.
Yeah, so maybe we'll just take a little break and let's kind of like regroup and see where else we want to go with the interview, and maybe we can join you in singing afterwards.
Right.
Yeah, we'll get back because I think we need water. We need to, we need liquids right now.
Right.
So if you don't mind, Chris, we'll just take a little break and then continue on.
Sure.
Okay.
See you later. That's the song.
Earlier we were talking about Josie's, experiences singing in the city, and how many years did you actually live in San Francisco, Josie?
About 29.
Yeah, you were there for a long time. And then you and Ray moved back here.
Yeah.
1989?
89.
And you've been here in Stockton ever since, right? And so, and you've raised 5 daughters. You raised your grandchildren too.
Yeah,
and,
well, they lived with you.
Yeah,
Put it that
well,
way.
I mean, you raised them too.
Yeah.
I mean, in many ways. But now your life is here in Stockton. And but earlier on, before I go on to what's going on with you now currently, is earlier we were talking about your daughters and the third wave, and we have in our midst Stevie, who was part of the third wave. And there's a picture of the third wave on the wall, and it's too bad we can't take a picture of that, but I was telling your mom earlier, remember back in 1969, the Oakland Coliseum, the Nuru dresses, the yellow, bright yellow dress, Nuru jacket dresses, and the white boots that you guys,
Go-go boots?
yeah, the go-go boots, and that hair that took forever to curl. And my God, yeah. Anyway, but that was 1969. But that was because you guys were the warm-up act for some really heavyweight guys like Thelonious Monk was on, Cannonball Adderley, Dionne Warwick, right?
Yes.
And I mean, it was amazing.
Yeah.
That show was totally amazing. But you little girls were all up there. I think you were only, how old are you then, Stevie?
69, 15. But are you sure it was 69? Maybe earlier.
No, it was 1969. I was pretty sure it was 19.
Yeah,
Or it could have been 68, but I thought it was 69. Maybe it was earlier.
I think so.
When did you
Yeah.
do Monterey Jazz Festival? I think that was 1968.
Yeah.
Maybe it was 1968.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You did your
Because
Monterey
they were backed up, you guys were backed up then by
We opened
George
for
Duke.
Carmen
Yeah.
McRae.
Right, right,
Yeah,
right.
they had to give
Yeah.
Carmen McRae flowers.
Oh, at the Monterey Jazz? I miss the Monterey
Carmen had
Jazz.
to follow her there.
Yeah.
We opened for her, so that was great.
Yeah, she was amazing. I saw her at the one of the winery jazz
And Dizzy
festivals. Yeah.
Gillespie was on there too.
Yeah, yeah.
Also.
But Stevie and the girls, one of the songs I will always, every time you guys sing that song, it just makes me cry. It always makes you think of your great grandma and your grandma and grandpa. And you know what that song is,
Yeah.
right? You know.
All the things you
Yes, all the things you are, you know. But the girls, every time they would sing that, the perfect 4-part harmony, it would just still gets to me when I hear it, you know. But so Stevie, you want to say a few words about, you know, life as it is with your mom now?
It's wonderful. We get along very well. I'm the lady of the house.
Change places?
Yes.
A little bit.
She didn't want me going up and down the stairs.
Yeah.
I just have to police her when it comes to physical things, like, slow down, Mom, that's enough.
Yeah.
But yeah, but it's lovely. I tell my sisters, you know, when my hamper, all the clothes are gone. The police fairy came.
Police fairy?
She does the laundry, yes, she's the laundry police.
It's a habit.
So she does all the laundry. It's nice. You know?
Yeah,
It's a
yeah.
habit. I can't stand dirty dishes in the sink
Yeah.
or anything. Everything's got to be, you know.
Josie, you were always like that. Even the apartment you guys had on 8th Avenue, that place was sparkling clean.
Well, it should be. 5
You know,
daughters.
there were 5 daughters.
There's
There
no
was
reason
not one
for
speck
it
of
not
dirt.
to.
The table was perfectly clean all the time. No dishes in the rack. No nothing. I thought the bathroom with 5 girls. My God, it was.
One bathroom.
Yeah, but I always remember the laundry day though. When the laundry day with these 5 girls was like a fiasco.
We did better than that. The kids used to hide her keys so she couldn't leave.
Yeah, they didn't let me go home for like 2 days because I couldn't find my car keys. They wouldn't let me go home. I thought, you guys, I want to go home. I'm tired.
Where's your keys?
These girls wore me out. God, they were too much. But
It was a lot of
but
fun.
you know,
That's
it's
what happens
been.
when you're good company, though.
Yeah, but you know, returning to your roots, I think we all know what that is because you know, you came back to your roots. Pete came back to his
Yeah.
roots after retiring. So did I.
Yeah.
You know, but yet we still, you know, we still try to stay in touch despite the COVID. And actually, this is the first time that I've gotten to actually visit in person, you know,
Right.
with family, and it just feels so good not
know.
to have to worry. You've been vaccinated, haven't you?
Absolutely.
I think we all are too.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, we've all been fully vaccinated. Pete was one of the first ones, you know.
got that one.
And you got your second dose, what, last month? Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, so we're all second dosers, you know.
Yeah.
Still
Yeah.
paranoid.
Yeah, still well,
still wear my mask.
still cautiously
Still wearing his
optimistic.
mask.
You know, we have to be still cautious. You know,
Yes.
because I mean, Josie, when I told Josie about this interview, was it last year? She said, "You know, Luna, don't take too long to do this, right?"
Yeah.
And I knew exactly what she was
Yes.
saying
Yeah.
because we've lost so many loved ones in the last few years, and you know, we're blessed every day that we can wake up. You know,
Absolutely.
I mean, I have a brother over here that's going to be 91. You know, but he still is paleo as ever. You know, so that's what keeps us going. You know, if you're feisty and you know, keep your
Oh yeah.
you know, keep yourself going, keep your mind working, you know.
right.
But Josie knows what all that is about. But I just wanted to kind of go back to touching on where your music is now that you're here back in Stockton. You've been here since 1989, but now you're passing your legacy on. We had a long conversation about Josie's great grandson.
Oh, yeah.
You know, Stevie's grandson.
Right.
And so she's passing that torch on to that next generation, because I know that a lot of the kids in your family, they already picked up
Well, there's
you know,
three
the torch.
that with you. Coco plays. Coco's
Yeah,
really good.
Yeah.
She plays the guitar. She plays piano now too. And Allie.
Yes,
The same thing. Allie plays piano.
Yeah.
And Sean
Plays by ear too, doesn't he?
Sean
Yeah,
plays,
and
she
memory.
plays beautiful
Yeah.
classical.
I know, I heard him
Classical
play,
music.
but he could read too, didn't he?
A little
read?
bit.
But a lot of it was by ear. Imagine playing classical music by ear.
And then my
I mean, that's
brother
amazing.
Joe's son Derek, he's a good player. Plays piano really
Wow.
well too. Yeah, so it's sort of like
Yeah.
I don't. Nobody's taken up the saxophone. I don't know what happened there.
Yeah, that's inherent though.
Keyboard.
That was a gift.
Keyboard and guitar.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was a gift. But you know what, Josie? There still will be only one Joe Canion, though, really. Seriously. There's never going to be another Joe Canion, no matter how many, you know, kids or grandkids you have in your family. But I think that you'll always be there as an inspiration, though, to all of them, you know.
Yeah.
But
See, I got stuck with the name what my grandson gave me.
My son.
Yeah.
What did he? What
He's
is
the one that started calling her Starina.
Starina? No, I thought it was Moji.
It was Sean.
I thought it was Moji all this
Yes,
time.
No, that's what.
Mom was-
Did you see my cup?
Yeah, I know Starina, but I always thought Starina was.
She was getting an award.
Oh, that's
in
so
San Francisco
funny.
State, so they wanted her to, to perform. And so they had like this bit of a garage band. This young guy was on the piano, classically trained, you could tell. Then they had the oldest guy there was the percussionist, the conga player.
Mm.
They had a drummer, played with sticks the whole time. And then they had, was it a upright
Yeah. Well,
bass?
it was.
They had a bass player.
Yeah, Ben Lewis. Ben Lewis
Oh,
was
yeah,
there.
yeah,
He knew
yeah.
where it was, but everybody else didn't know where it was.
So you were getting an award?
So it was
She was
like
getting an award.
chaos.
And so, and Mom was trying to do
Sing the
this.
song.
She was trying to do a ballad, and the drummer kept playing
No,
with
it
the
wasn't a ballad. It was
stick.
a little
And then
fast
she,
one.
I mean, it was the whole
A little
performance
fast
was
one.
kind of like, you're kind of cringing, like this is not, she's not happy.
Yeah.
And then she started to do this more of an uptune, and then she casually went over, and this is why she's a starina, because not everybody, would have the wisdom to graciously and carefully, when you're on stage, go over and tell the piano player, can
Just shut up.
to lay back. And she went to the drummer, she went to the bass, and ultimately it was just her and the percussionist, because she knew he had the goods.
Right.
And so it was just the two of them, and they were trading fours and
Right.
eights, and it was awesome. And it was really, I was really happy that my kids were there to see this, because you don't often get to be schooled like that in a public setting.
Yeah.
And have
And do it with
graciously
grace,
done.
yeah.
Yeah, you have to
Exactly.
create-
Yeah, that's hard to do it with grace.
Yeah, nobody was. No,
Right.
it was. It was like this was planned. Oh, okay. It was all part of the. It was seamless, which
Yeah.
it should be.
Yeah,
should
yeah.
be right. And so it
That's
was just
class.
Mom
That
and
takes
the
class.
percussionist just took the whole thing out.
So
It was
So
awesome.
it was Sean that
So Sean-
So how did he?
Sean
the
says,
audience.
that's Starina.
So where did he get that name from?
I don't know, but
that stuck
Ever since
forever.
it's
That's better than Diva Hush.
No, I love Starina is her.
Starina.
There's no other Starina except Josie. Because all the kids always called her, oh, that's just Starina. And they always say that's the, I mean, they call
got a standing ovation. It was
yeah,
awesome,
they call her Starina as much as they call her Nana, you know.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
But that is funny. No, I didn't know that was.
know- yeah.
No, I didn't know it was
Yes.
Sean.
It was
That's two great stories.
Yeah,
It was
that's
good that he gave
Yeah.
him that name, and it was good that he got to see that in
That's-
action,
That's
and that's what made her
yeah.
a star.
But you know, actually, because a diva would have gone over there and
yeah.
just slapped the piano player or just
you don't want to do
embarrassed
that,
them or
right.
humiliated them or whatever.
Or,
but
yeah, get off the
your
stage,
mom has enough respect
Yeah.
and you know, grace and class to not have done
and
that.
that's the thing. As a
Yeah.
musician, you should be respectful of everyone,
Right.
even if you may feel that they're
Right.
not up to par.
Right.
You know, no, you just be respectful that they are there, willing,
Right, right.
willing to play with you, willing.
Right,
You know,
right.
even maybe they knew, maybe they were not up to it, but here they were,
Yeah.
trying to give it their best.
Yeah.
But that's
Well, and
Mom
that's
gave
what
them an easy out.
that's what I was telling your mom earlier is that I always felt like even though you know, I mean, there are a lot of us that can never sing like her, but we aspire to it, you know. But even though she'd back me up, and she'd say, and she like earlier we were. She was mentoring Lourdes over here, and I remember many times your mom mentoring me. You know, don't rush, take your time, count, timing. Da, da, da. It's like, God, Josie, too much work.
To tell her sometimes she goes,
But she was so
"No,
patient.
listen."
She was so patient, and then she'd be going like this, and she makes you want to be a better singer because all of us usually we sing right under the note. We just don't know it. We were singing under the note, and one time she told me that she said, "Luna, you got to sing like you're on top of the note, like you're on this cloud and you're on top of that note." Because you're singing just under it,
Yeah,
you know, and so when I started putting that in my head, I thought, oh, I do sound better now. I'm actually singing it too. But I mean, it's like little things like that you learn from somebody, well, not just somebody, but your mom, who never had formal vocal training, right? You know, she said she never had vocal training. She was sitting there when you girls were babies folding diapers with Uncle Mike. And Uncle Mike is the one that got her to get on stage. That's when she started all her gigs. So I mean, you know, from
first profession.
from folding diapers to, you know, getting on stage.
But Uncle Jimmy used to make her go.
Oh yeah, when I was like
the Civic.
I guess 10 years old, 11.
Yeah.
He'd take me to the
Probably all the LDT things.
The guys would get together.
Oh, yeah, jam sessions.
Yeah, jam session. He'd take me there, and I'd be the youngest one, and I'm the only kid there. And then he would all right, Joe, get up there and sing. Okay, improvise. So I would scat because he was telling me, okay, scat like a horn.
Well, how did you pick up scatting? How do you scat? I mean, it's just like
you
amazing.
Have to scat like a horn.
Well, see, remember Pull and I used to try to imitate Josie, right? And we were just like, oh, never mind. She used to laugh on us because Pull would say, abba baba boo 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 boo.
The girls do really good.
I know,
You should have seen them when they first started because Rudy.
Yeah, I remember you guys all scatted. Yeah.
He would say to them on the gig, all right, we're going to take fourths. And you would, no.
No.
But look, and then now, oh my God, you tell me, they want to take a whole chorus.
Yeah.
Yeah, now it's like, at first they were scared, but after that now it doesn't bother them. Now they want to take a whole chorus. Georgia gets into, I want to take a whole one. All right.
I know.
They got who's starting to scat Cannon.
I know. Yeah. I believe that. Cannon's bold. He would do that. I can imagine him. But a little kid, a 7-year-old scatting, that's amazing.
He asked me the other day.
But it's like you have to see. I could see the notes in my head too, but it doesn't coordinate with what comes out. I always feel like your mom. I try to act. I try to think like your mom, like, okay, she sees the notes and then
No, it's not see the note.
Yeah.
It's just the sound.
well, the sound. But you have to see it in your head too and hear it. Well,
Yeah, you
it don't
see
work
the-
with me.
We can't see the notes because we can't read.
Yeah, can't read. That's right. You guys don't read. That's why you can just hear. But your ear is better than my sight.
That's right. We don't see it.
I know.
In here. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, but I want to tell the story about this piano, Josie. This piano has had a lot of history too, huh?
Yes, you're right.
Because I think this piano was the one that, God, I think they hauled it up to the US because they lived in Avalon. Remember those houses that had the garage below? They were upstairs.
Yeah.
All the first floor was over the garage, right? How did they get this up those stairs?
This guy that used to move it all the time was a father and son thing, just the two of them. But he had this gadget that would go up the stairs. He'd put the piano on its side. Of course, they take the legs off, and of course wrap a blanket and a belt and all, and he sets it on this like a pulley. Then it just goes like
It climbs up
Yeah,
there.
yeah.
And then he unhooks everything, and then
ingenious. One
everything
guy.
has to be done, put
Amazing,
into
yeah.
a different dolly to
Yeah.
wheel it into the living room. But that was something. I thought that was something. But to tell you the truth, this piano's been moved so many times, but I only call one guy. This guy does it himself, believe it
You've
or not.
only tuned this piano one time?
No, he moved.
Oh, I was going to
He
say.
just moves it himself.
He calls
Would you
the same
believe
guy.
it? This thing is so heavy, yet he
Yeah, I know.
does it himself. One guy.
I mean, that's amazing because this piano's been moved a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's awesome to see how it's done because it's usually
Yeah.
see two guys at the most,
Yeah, yeah.
sometimes three, but as far as I know, there was always two that the father and son, like I said, that used to move it. But now, because they were in the Bay Area, so it was hard for them to be coming here. So I had to find somebody else, and I found this one guy.
I know. This piano is awesome, though. But I mean, it's been. But this was the piano that you got started actually playing.
Yeah.
Well, you had a keyboard too, didn't you? Did you have a keyboard?
I just had this, and
Yeah.
then of course I had a Yamaha after I started.
After, yeah, that's
bought
right.
that.
But you
Yeah.
started with this piano.
In fact,
Josie would be.
with me when
I
I,
always
went
remember-
to get the guitar center.
Yeah.
Flip was with me, and we
Right.
went and got.
I always remember you, Josie, with your big rollers, and your nightgown and your bathrobe, and she'd be
And
playing.
I'm still doing that, especially this
Yeah.
COVID thing. Oh, listen.
And she'd be on the piano first thing in the morning with her big rollers on her head. It was like,
Jammy days are big with
Yeah,
COVID. you know.
especially with COVID now.
I know,
Yeah.
sweats.
Before it used to be maybe one day out of the
Well, at least I get out of my pajamas.
It would be jammy day, but now it's more like, well, could be every other day.
But I think it's still, it just amazes me that she was in her 50s when she,
Well, that's why
Yeah,
we talked
I was
about that
way past
earlier.
that already.
We talked about that earlier, that it wasn't any. I mean, she was singing all along earlier, but she didn't get into actually playing the keyboard, the piano, until she
Which
was
was hard.
55.
Yeah.
She said she was
And
55.
this has to be steady.
Yeah,
And so-
it was amazing.
Yeah.
I mean, but at 55, you didn't look like you're 55. I thought it was when you were younger, you know. But
Yeah, but I'm 88 now. I'll be
my
89
God.
this year.
wow, God bless
We're
you,
still
Josie.
here, aren't we, Pete?
Yeah, she's only 3
not
years behind
answering.
you, but he's bungol. He can't hear. He's
I could hear everything.
she's not responding.
Did you get that?
I learned how to keep quiet.
He doesn't want to incriminate himself.
No, when he came in, that's what we hugged and we said, "We're still here, huh, Pete?"
You know what, Josie? I just had this thought. Remember all those songs from the tournament days that everybody knows these songs. Remember that one, Day by Day? And then,
yeah.
you know that song, right? Day by Day,
falling more in love with
you. And then the
you.
other one was, what was that other one? We sang at the San Jose Grand Reunion.
Oh, the
Remember with Ham?
graduation.
Yeah. No, it wasn't graduation day. It was the other one.
The day is
Oh, the day isn't long enough. Oh, let's do that one. Let's do it in harmony. Come on, Pete.
All right,
You can
all right,
sing
Pete.
too.
Let's see what
Let's do the introduction. I love that song. Come on, Chris, let's all sing. He loves when I'm with you.
Is that too low?
No, that's good. The day isn't long enough when hours so few. There could be more than 24. When what was something about the delight of our delight being carried away? The thrill of your sweet caress should linger on. But then there's happiness. The day is all gone. We said hello, then it's time to go. Before a kiss is through, the day isn't long enough when I'm with you. Yeah, that reminds me of the tournament days.
I know.
Yeah.
Okay, here's the trouble.
But should get the lighter out. Use the lighter.
Day by
Day, I'm in love with you. Day by day, my love seems to grow. There isn't any end to my devotion. It's deeper, dear, by far than any ocean. I find that day by day, you're making all my dreams come true. So come what may, I want you to know I'm yours alone, and I'm in love to stay as we go through the years, day by day.
That means we're getting old.
Yeah. Woo. I tried doing that and it sounds ridiculous.
I should play the drum, the snare drum.
I know, she's telling me. You even have your own stool.
It was a moment of desperation.
Yeah, you should. It'll help your timing. Yeah.
Day by day, you're making
Make all my dreams come true. Come with me. I want you to know I'm yours alone, and I'm in love to stay as we through the years. We go through the years. We go through the years, day by day. Day by day. Day by day. Yeah! This reminds me of all the parties.
I would have went.
Yeah, you should have done that. This is the rain thing.
No, because you have to do the other side.
Come on, Pete, sing a song.
Huh?
Sing a tune. Sing your tune. Your favorite a tune. I know. Shut up.
How to play this?
Come on, do a tune.
You just have to go like this.
What's that song?
This is supposed to be Josie's interview.
No, but this is showcasing Josie
Yeah.
with you guys. Showcasing the family with Josie.
Come on, Pete.
Remember that song you used to sing all the time to Terry? What was that song?
Private.
Well,
What song?
not
The other song.
that other song.
I remember when you sang that. Was that Misty you sang?
No, that was
Wasn't it? What was that?
I don't remember those
Don't
words.
blame me for falling in love.
Huh?
Don't blame me.
Don't blame me.
Give him the mic.
For playing in love with you.
Oh, that's too high. Let me bring you lower. Let me bring you lower, okay?
This is my favorite song. I sing.
Oh, try it.
This. Don't blame me.
Is that a good key for you, Pete?
Let me try. Don't blame me
Blame me too low.
for falling in love with you. See, that's all I know that song.
That's a good.
I'm under
That's a
your
good
spell.
key.
What?
I'm under your spell.
I'm
I'm
under your spell. So, how can I help it?
How can I help it?
Don't blame me.
Don't blame me.
Blame your kiss.
Yeah, feed him the words, Lourdes.
Blame your
Can't you see? Is there?
as sweet as a kiss can be,
Not my name.
and blame all your charms that melt in my arms. But don't blame me. I can't help it if
That dawn above me.
above.
Makes me.
Makes me want
Someone
like you.
to love.
That too low? Maybe you should bring your lyre. Blame
Blame
your kiss. As sweet
as a kiss can be,
and blame all your charms
that melt
in
in
my
my
arms.
but don't blame me.
Yeah. Woo.
Okay, that's enough.
See, when they wrote those songs,
Nice.
now if they were going to write something like that, they'd destroy it.
Maybe,
It's a good
maybe you
thing
should
that
have did it in
It's a good thing that was.
It was a little bit low, but it still sounded good. I thought.
This is better keep you.
It still sounded good.
What?
You still sounded good in
is
that
a
key.
better
though.
key
That's
for
a
you.
better key.
Which one? This one?
I can't conceal.
It's a different key.
Because the other one was in B flat, and that's too low. So I'm putting you a whole step higher, which is the C, easy key.
Which one is it?
Same song.
Sing, don't play me. You have to sing it so I can hear it, so I know if it's your
for me.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
No.
What's in a coat? Well, now.
You heard that in Visayan.
Yes.
That means
Well, no, he's finished already. He's done.
he's done.
But at least we got him on
Okay.
camera. All right.
That's it. The post now.
Tapos na. Okay, but we're almost tapos na because you know, we don't want to take the entire day from from Josie and Stevie, and I think we need to get home sometime today. But
Early yet.
no, but I mean, it's just like I said earlier. Every time we get together, it's like a party. You know, I mean,
know, yeah.
we've had a lot of.
An hour to say goodbye.
Yeah, it does take an hour to say goodbye.
Except, I think it was much better when we had a lot of the dearly departed people.
Oh,
who
of course,
just took their turns. And,
Yeah.
and we just went round and round, remember?
Yes, yeah. That, I mean, there were so many.
And
If
so
you
much
think of,
talent.
I know. Oh, I mean, we could. There were hours that
I mean,
we
they-
would be.
They were obviously a lot better than me.
Yeah. No, but I
But,
mean,
you know, they
hey.
were really good.
But everybody sang. It didn't matter if you were the most talented or not.
Or not.
Because nobody cared. As long as you went up there and just sang from your heart, nobody cared, you know? It's like there were a lot of people that couldn't sing, but there were a lot that
But
could.
they got up there and sang.
Yeah, but they got up there and sing anyway
Yeah.
because, and there was no such thing as karaoke, you know.
No.
No, there's no karaoke then. You know, we always had our. I mean, all those parties that we used to have at Fil-Ams' backyard. I mean, I used to remember Uncle Rudy would always bring all his equipment. I mean, that's why he had that big car so he could, you know,
Carry
haul all his speakers and his, you know, his keyboard
I
and.
remember
I had
those
our
days. Every
reception
time I had to
there,
work.
Yes, yeah, that's right.
And then it got worse when I started playing piano because I had the keyboard to go
Yeah.
in. Oh my God.
You know what was
Go
extra
ahead,
nice?
Dolly.
At the very first San Ramon reunion,
Yeah.
up into the suite that we had.
Oh yeah, the after
And
party.
then there was a
party.
piano,
Yeah.
I swear. That piano was going at least for 3 or 4 hours, not with the same person. either.
Yeah.
If somebody.
Oh, they had.
There's somebody
I know.
there,
Yeah.
and there was always somebody singing or a group singing.
Yeah.
It never
fun.
stopped.
It
It never stopped.
It never stopped. Just went on
Right.
and on and on.
Well,
I didn't know you guys
remember
there.
that.
Oh yeah,
one.
Corny
Yeah.
Oh,
Pascal.
you would have had a
Bonnie.
good time.
I was
Yeah.
there.
Oh, you were
She was there, but we didn't know her
But
then.
what, you didn't know me?
Yeah.
You mean nobody
Oh.
invited you?
No, she was there, but
Oh, no, I was
Pete.
there.
she was.
Oh,
At,
you went. You
Yeah,
went
we were all there.
but she wasn't at the after party. But she was at the
That's what I mean.
reunion.
That's
Yeah.
Went up to the room in your
Did
suite.
you go to the
You
after
did, I
party?
remember
No.
that.
No, I just
That's
said
what I
that.
was talking
Yeah.
about. No.
Yeah.
But we didn't know her then because that
Yeah.
was before FANHS, you know.
The no more font that I was left.
No, that was
you do
before
at
our.
FANHS?
That was before our
And
Central Valley
I remember
FANHS.
our cousin Sonia at Vicar.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Yeah, my cousin
She
Sonia.
played too.
Yeah, and she that
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
A lot of people sang.
You know
I
that
thought that, like Pete was saying, there were so many that we honor today but we miss when we're gathering, you know, especially with music,
Yeah.
because, you know, I mean, I can name, you know, right off the top of my head, you know, I mean, so many that are gone now that were part of, you know, our life back then, and part of, you know, all that love and laughter. I mean, lots of laughs.
Yeah.
My God, we just used to laugh continuously. But that night that you were talking about, God, it was Corny was on the piano, Rudy, of course, you were playing,
Flip was there.
Flip was there. There was somebody else that played the piano too. Oh, Sonia played, huh?
Yes.
Yeah, Sonia played, and we had like everybody sang. I mean, I think I even stood up there and sang. Gigi
You know
sang.
who sang that's the last time I saw her?
With Sonia?
No, I'm talking about somebody else.
Oh.
Rosie Texan.
Oh.
Remember?
Oh, Rose. I did it.
She had a great voice.
Let me tell you, Rose and I, we did a gig. I'll never forget that. But anyway, we were together at the Tonga Room.
At the
Okay.
where?
She played
Yeah.
bass,
Yeah.
and we had somebody else on. I forget now who was on.
I didn't know you guys
Like I
performed
told you, it was a different group.
Oh, the
I always
Tonga
went
Room. Yeah.
Into a different group
Yeah.
with different
Yeah.
bands, and they would call. Well, at one time it was Rose and I. I mean, I was the singer, and she was playing bass. But we would, because I knew she sang, so come on,
Yeah.
you got to sing too. So give me a break, So, but anyway, but there was one gig. She calls me up. This is something. She calls me up. She says, "Joe, what? You got to help me. What?" I said, "What's wrong with you?" And she goes, "I lost my voice. I got a gig. I have to play. You got to come and do the gig with me." I said, "Oh, come on, you got to help me out." That's what she said. Okay, so I said, "Okay. We're going to Jack Tar." She has a gig in the Jack
Oh my
Tar.
God, really?
I get up there. Where's the piano player? Where's the guitar player? No, it's just her. Her and me.
Her on the bass and you.
I had
That's
to sing
it.
because yeah. I said, "Bruce." I'll never forget that. That was
Yeah,
something
I mean,
else.
that-
But we did it, But
that's why-
it was a good thing because she plays right. She didn't play upright. She played bass.
Yeah,
I don't.
yeah, bass guitar.
I didn't know her
Yeah.
well. I
so
don't think she's. Yeah.
She just played
she was
bass.
in high
typically.
school
She
with Gina.
played
Yeah.
bass typically.
Alameda.
So, but it was weird
And they-
singing it just
she used
her
to
and
sing
I.
reg-
But I'm kind of used
Josie,
to something
what
like
was
that.
the name
too.
of that bar that she used to sing regularly at in the East Bay?
Oh yeah, that was in Fremont.
Fremont, yeah.
Yeah, she was married to what's his name then? I forget.
Yeah, she was married then. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, and I
Yeah.
know I went to see her there.
Yeah, I did too.
Jimmy. Yeah, you did too. We went
Yeah.
out.
Was
there.
that her maiden name, Texan, or was her married name?
Yeah, she had a lot of brothers.
I know. So that was her maiden name, right? Okay, because I knew
And they
that.
were from Texas.
Yeah, I know they were not. I knew the Texans.
They're just Pinoy Texans.
The
but they
Texans were
spell
from
it
Stockton.
No, they really
TAC.
were.
Huh?
That's a better story. That's so Filipino.
No, but actually there were a lot of people that went up there and sang. And that really, I think it was the last time that I saw them, Anyway, good memories. But getting back,
I really want to kind of bring this to a close,
Yeah.
closure, because we've really had a fun afternoon
Yeah.
with Josie, and I want to leave it on a very light note, because it wasn't anything that we really planned.
Yes, right.
And sometimes some things come out that maybe we shouldn't have talked about, but that's okay. But most of the time
they were really.
most of the time we stayed right on track. So what I want to project to whoever watches this in the future, because this is a documentary, this is a film that we hope will be shared by people that go to the FANHS Museum. And if they want to learn about music after you and I are gone, Josie, they'll find this videotape that we did on April 28th in the year 2021, and we sang a bunch of songs and we told good stories, and most of all we passed on how important music was to our lives, and how important that the history of our people as Filipino Americans brought forth all that love of music, and why we like to sing and still will, and keep the music playing. That's what we need to do, And exactly. And I think, like Josie was talking about earlier, she'll always have the music. Her legacy, keep the music playing, will be with her children, her grandchildren,
There's a
her
song
great grandchildren.
called that,
It will go on. And so, you know what? Our bodies might not be here, in the future, but I think we've all left our imprint. I know Josie has. I know that's why we're here today, Josie, because, you've left your mark. You really have. You make me cry, my cousin. But you know what? You're going to sing I Cry For You now. No, don't play that now.
There'll never be another you.
Yeah, there'll never be another you. Yeah, so we're just gonna ease out with Josie just singing. Oh, I like There'll Be Another You.
Oh,
Yeah, that's a good one for
I don't even
exit.
know what key what's a good key for it?
for me, you know.
What does she do?
There'll never be another you.
You know it?
I'm gonna follow her. She knows the words.
There will be many
Other nights like
oh,
this.
there's the verse to that. This is our last day.
Oh, that's the intro. I love the intro. That's a nice intro.
Tonight will be soon, long ago. And in this moment of parting, this is all I want you to know. There will be many
Other nights
like
this.
and I'll be standing
Here with someone new.
There will be other
Songs to sing.
another fall,
Another spring.
but
There will never be another you.
Another Starlina.
Another Starina.
there will be others
that
that I
I'm making.
but they won't thrill me like yours used to do.
I love this song.
Yes, I may dream a million dreams, but how can they come true if there will never ever be another one like you for me?
Oh, thank you, Josie. And you know what? We're gonna close this off, but I just want to say one more thing. You've been a treasure, will always be a treasure. And I hope whoever sees this, that they will treasure whatever moments they've shared with us today. So thank you. Thank you. Thank you, guys.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you, Chris.